Hi, I'm Jacinta and today we are going to cover watering, potting medium, fertilizer, propagation and common issues with my favourite houseplants. Let's go through the care requirements of my 5 favourite houseplants. We have the Pilea, also known as the Chinese money plant, Begonia maculata or the polka dot begonia, my pink Princess Philodendron, my Monstera Thai Constellation, and my gorgeous variegated string of pearls. So let's get into it. First up, the variegated string of pearls. My string of pearls sits in a window and gets the direct morning sunlight and also some afternoon sunlight. The window is north facing and I am in Australia. To keep your string of pearls full, sunlight needs to hit the top of the plant. If you've only got sunlight hitting down the base, then you will end up with a bald top. Like most cacti and succulents, they don't need a lot of fertilizer. I feed mine once in summer and once in spring, and that's it. I don't fertilize in autumn or winter or the dormant periods. This plant does best in a well-draining soil. I have mine in a cacti and succulent soil. It is also in a terracotta pot. I highly recommend using terracotta for all of your cacti and succulents. Terracotta helps to draw away excess moisture but still allows airflow, which is perfect for these plants. You can propagate the string of pearls in water or in a potting medium. Common issues of the string of pearls include rot. If you've got yellow or mushy pearls, it is a sign that you are overwatering them. If your pearls are shriveled or wrinkled, it means you are underwatering them. My best advice for the string of pearls is to put them in a terracotta pot with cacti soil. Only water from the base and make sure they see a lot of sunlight. Next, the Pilea or the Chinese money plant. This is such a stunning houseplant, which I actually did not like at first because they're quite ugly when they are young, but once they grow and fill out, they are so stunning. For care for this one, I water it weekly in summer and every 1 to 2 weeks in the cooler months. They do like a bright spot but don't need direct sunlight. Mine sits in a south-facing window. I frequently rotate it to ensure there is even growth the whole way around. If only one side of the plant is seeing light, then you will have a very awkward plant which is only growing on one side. I water this plant every 1 to 2 weeks and I bottom water it. The leaves do not do well if you get them wet, so I don't mist this plant. To bottom water, just pop it in a bowl for about 10 minutes. Monthly, I will add a liquid plant food, which is an NPK water-soluble plant food. So I just add a dropper full to a litre of water. This plant is super easy to propagate because it basically makes its own babies for you, which are the pups. This was the main plant, which is the tallest, and then when I spin it around, you can see all these smaller ones underneath. So these are the pups which are growing, which I've left on the plant. You can snip these off and then pop them directly into soil, or you can water propagate them. So I have a few propagating in water. They root really well. This is well and truly ready to pot up, but I love water propagation, so I'm keeping them in this cute little setup for a while. It's super easy. You don't need to let the cuttings callus. You can just pop them directly into water. Just like my string of pearls, I use a cacti and succulent mix for my Chinese money plant. Now for some common issues. If your leaves are going yellow, it can be a sign of overwatering. If the leaves are at the base of your plant only and they're going yellow, that's probably just them aging out. If it's new leaves or higher up, or if a lot go yellow at once, then there is something to worry about. So yellow leaves is a classic sign of overwatering. It can also be nutrient deficiency, so make sure you are feeding your houseplants. If your leaves are dropping, it can be because you are not watering enough, or if you have top watered and you've gotten the leaves and the stems wet, they can become soft and drop. If your leaves are curling inwards into a cup shape, you may be underwatering, or it could be a lack of humidity. If you've got white spots on the backs of your leaves, this is harmless. It is mineral deposits from the water you are using. You can switch to filtered water to prevent these spots. As this Pilea is getting quite tall now, I do have it staked just with a chopstick. You can use a trellis or anything to help her grow upright. And that is how I care for my Pilea. Now, my Begonia Maculata, or the polka dot begonia. Another of my favorite plants, obviously, that's why she's in this video. She's so stunning. This is another plant which I wasn't that jazzed about because when they're small, they're not that exciting. But now she has grown beautiful and tall. I absolutely love her, and you guys do as well. This begonia is a real water lover. I top water and bottom water her a few times a week. I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, they love water. I'll do a proper bottom water once a week, year round, even in winter, and then I will top water as well. They also like a lot of humidity. Now, I missed mine. I don't want to hear any anti-misting talk. I missed mine, and look how beautiful she is. Now, begonias can be prone to powdery mildew, which is why some people think misting is the worst for them. But if you have good airflow and circulation, then this won't be an issue. So mine sits again directly in a north-facing window and gets a lot of bright sunlight. I also frequently open this window, which means that there is a lot of air circulation. So I've never had issues with powdery mildew, fungus, rot, anything. I've just got a beautiful plant, so don't be scared of misting. This doesn't apply for all begonias though. If your begonia has velvety leaves like the begonia rock, then you don't want to mist those, so only smooth leaves. I fertilize this one every 4 weeks with this same liquid plant food. It's a very easy one to propagate as well. You can propagate in soil or water like you can with the Pilea and string of pearls. I have done both and found that it rooted faster in water. I will link that video so you can go have a look. So the foliage at the front is obviously stunning with the polka dots, but I really love the backs of the leaves, which is this beautiful vibrant red. This again comes from enough sunlight. So you want a well-draining potting mix with slightly acidic soil. I use a good quality indoor potting mix. Now for some common issues. If you've got crispy brown spots or edges, then this is a sign of a lack of humidity or underwatering. As I said, they like higher moisture levels, so keep that potting mix damp. If you want your begonia to stay beautiful, make sure she gets a lot of sunlight. My pink princess and my Monstera Thai Constellation have the same care, so let's do those together. So I got these plants at the same time over 2 years ago now, and they've both more than tripled in size since they have been in my care. For watering, I water these both weekly in the warmer months and fortnightly when it is cold and they are dormant. In the warmer months, I will also shower them or pop them out in the rain, as well as watering just the soil. Doing this helps to keep their leaves clean. I also mist both of these and spray them down with neem oil. I use neem oil monthly on these plants, and I mist them every 2 weeks or so. The neem oil I use is pre-diluted. If yours isn't, you're going to want to dilute it first. Give it a good shake, and then you can spray the leaves or spray a cloth or gloves and then wipe down. This is a great leaf shine and will also help to prevent pests. As it is an oil, you don't want to use it when your plant is about to get any sunlight. It's best to use this in the evening or when it's dark. You don't want to overwater any plant, but especially these two. So check that your soil is actually dry before you go in and water them. You can do this by sticking your finger in the soil and seeing if it's damp or not. They both need a lot of sunlight, and they both get direct sunlight throughout the day. They get the morning sunlight, not the afternoon, as that would be too harsh for their variegated leaves. Make sure you have a bright spot for them, or you can add grow lights if you don't have a very sunny home. For fertilizer, I again use this water soluble NPK mix. NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. This also has other trace elements and good minerals in there. I add the liquid plant food monthly in the warmer months, and then in autumn and winter I will add a slow release fertilizer once. That is because they are dormant and you don't want to over fertilize your plants or you may get leaf burn. Again, these are both in a well draining potting mix, and I use an aeroid specific mix because they are aeroids after all. If you are making your own, make sure it's got some big chunks in there like orchid bark. These plants are both fairly easy to propagate. You just need to make sure you include a node in your cutting. I do have a pink Princess water propagation here. I cut off this section because the leaves were going fully pink, which are beautiful, but they are not good for the plant. And you can see how tiny these leaves are. So when you take a cutting, you want to include a node because that is where your new roots will grow from. So plants like the Monstera, Philodendron, pothos, they all have nodes and are very easy to water propagate. Now for some common issues. As with the other plants, brown crispy leaves is a lack of hydration. Either you're not watering enough or there is not enough humidity. If you overwater, you may get root rot, which will look like brown mushy spots on your leaves and maybe a funky smell. If your beautiful variegated leaves start to lose their variegation, then they are likely not getting enough sunlight and may revert to all green. If this is happening to you, pop it in a brighter spot. If your variegated sections are going brown, it can be for a few reasons. You may have over-fertilized your plant, it may not be getting enough sunlight, or you could have a watering issue. So if your plant is struggling, then it'll likely revert to all green as well, which we don't want. So I think that's it, a quick overview of the basic care of my favorite houseplants. Let me know if you want an in-depth video on any of these plants, and which is your favorite. Bye! I miss them weekly. No, I don't.